Hello, everyone. So, a warm welcome to a Strong Human Network. I am Lata here, a new host. I recently joined Ascension team in their member success team. So, it's really a good opportunity to work with them and to join with the Strong Human Network team. So, Strong Human Network, I would be happy to introduce. Strong Human Network is global lifestyle club. So, conceptualized and designed by Sainath Maratha and I am Calcutta and alumnus. So Strong Human Network helps people to excel in three aspects of their life. So what is that? One which is career, relationship, and health and fitness. So by inculcating with these strong human lifestyle to our daily journaling, so it helps us to build a 3 5 core skills. So which are they? One is confidence, second one is self-awareness, and third one is emotional intelligence, and fourth is world exposure, that is general knowledge about present what is happening, and next would be a network. So here we have thousands of members, 1,000+ members, and vast network of professionals who spread across the world. So we offer membership for our lifestyle club on completing Strong Human Challenge, 21 journaling activity. So about introduction about this event. So I'm very delighted and very happy to share in the occasion of Men's Day. And we are discussing about men's support and his well-being and his contribution towards the society. So we have gathered for a panel discussion. A topic would be evolving role of men in current society and challenges they face. So it's my pleasure to welcome our eminent panelists from the different background. They would like to share their insightful thoughts and the presence of wise men. So it's like, so every gender is a valuable gift. So we should live together in harmony. So let us welcome all our panelists, Mr. Jithesh Mogli and Dr. Nancy Kurain, and Mr. Prasad Goswami, and Mrs. Rajini Gurucharan, and Mr. Krishna Prakash. So first, I'm here to invite Mr. Jithesh Mogli, founder of 360 Degree, Chief being Evangelist Fitness and Human Excellence Coach from Hyderabad. So Jithesh Mogli holds 17 years of corporate experience in HR, and he moved towards his passion and global coach to help and guide coach all over the world. So here he worked in many professionals and companies, and he also takes one-on-one session for each individuals and educate all of them to stay healthy and fitness. And his social media posters are so inspiration to all of us. So welcome, Mr. Jithesh Mogli. So I have to vote you.
Thank you. Thank you to the team of SHN. And it's been always my pleasure to be a part of this beautiful group. And it's been almost 6 to 8 years since this been the association. And I'm proud to say that I was one of the pilot members to be part of this group and was influential in putting across many of my insights, thoughts through various programs. And I'm glad that you're back with a bang, and I want this to be a big bang across to the world. Well, coming to this wonderful topic about men's health, it is so important that we also take cognizance about men also are part of this world. I know that it's been a very common hearing across the globe over the last 4 5 years that there is a greater push, greater way to encourage women to be part of many of the streams. And a lot of people have been encouraging women to get into all kinds of areas. And that's a great transformation which has been taking place across the globe. And India is also working very actively. Indian government, entrepreneurs, corporate markets, industrialists are giving fair amount of opportunities to women. And I see this going very well. But somewhere in this flow of things, I feel there is a drift. There's a drift happening, and there is a slight shift in balance towards women-oriented programs, women-oriented events, and somewhere there is a slight ignorance, neglect, and focus being lost on men. And this is somewhere I wanted to focus through this medium, through this opportunity on this panel, that I urge industrialists, entrepreneurs, and various other forum heads to also look towards how do we create gender balance. There has to be a beautiful gender balance between men and women, because after all, we are all souls, human souls, and both of them, just that they are in different bodies doesn't mean that you treat them differently. I do agree that over a long era, men have been always projected as providers, men have been always projected as a dominant force in creating opportunities and also call various other decisions and shots. But it's time, with the transformation shift taking place, women playing a bigger role. Their intelligentsia is being utilized in various aspects. It's important that we don't lose the balance. Hence, I urge, request, suggest that there has to be a gender balance, and both the genders have to be treated in the best possible fair manner, and then talent should be given the right merit, and whoever really works toward their merit has to be recognized at the right time. So that is one. And now coming to the other part, we all know that we have been following certain days internationally. There is World Environment Day, World Pollution Day, World Health Day, Nutrition Days. All these days have come up. Similarly, Women's Day has come up, and then so is Men's Day now. Our question is, why are we creating this differentiation of Women's Day, Men's Day? That very saying itself is creating a gender inequality. My idea to the world is that why not we create a World Human Being Day? World Human Being Day, where all humans, irrespective of whatever genders, we also know that there are other genders besides men and women. Why not we call all of them together and be one human being day rather than Men's Day, Women's Day? So that very specification is creating a difference. And women are creating their own forum, men are slowly getting into that forum, and then there is a lot of biased conversation happening in the background. There is conflict towards who's being given more opportunities, who are being neglected. Instead, why not we look at equalizing and look at World Human Being Day as one of the very good reasons to celebrate human beings on this planet, and how we all as human beings turn better in a refined state as a good human being. What is that we can do for the world, for the plants, for the animals, because they are also living organisms, right? Let us take cognizance that they too also have souls in them. And how are we becoming responsible and superior species with better intelligence and a great mind? What kind of a role can we play towards them to make them part of this inclusive world? And then all of us as men and women in different bodies turn to a equal state of beings and create a very harmonious, loving, beautiful people across. This is the way that we can create a better life for everybody, including our future generations. Rather than setting up days separately, that very formation of separate days is creating inequality. And then you will have separate league of people talking about it. There would be probable conflicts, potential insecurities which develop, and that causes various shift in equilibrium. Now, coming to the other point which I want to address through this opportunity is that the role women play, we all know that there has been a greater cognizance towards women, security, safety, and various other aspects. But even men go through various other aspects which are not told. It's hidden because the society over a period of time has created men as very strong and robust people, dominant people with authority, and their bodies and physical stature are much more stronger. But men also go through many issues within. And due to this unfortunate mask being worn by the society on men, they somehow have become masked, hiding their actual emotions running inside. And I urge all the men across that please speak out. There are times when people suffer, there are times when people go through struggles, pains, ups and downs, failures. It is absolutely fine, and this is part and parcel of a human life. We all get better with failures, we all learn through various shortcomings and weakness in us. And here, women play a great role in coming across to their men, whoever is closer within the community, within the family, to step forward and figure out what is that they can do in order to understand the man and make that person come up with better expressions, open up more freely, talk the most silliest to the most sensitive aspects running inside me in my head, and then express it in the most easiest way so that women hand in hand give that support, cooperation, empathy. And women are known for it. They are um, ingrained with that beautiful quality of providing empathy to uh, people around, be it man, children, grandparents. And hence this is a great role that women can play towards uh, extending their hand, extending their emotions, their physical touch, so that men feel good about it, and then they are setting those expressions out. And that way you are unlocking those hidden challenges within, rather than those hidden challenges eating the person out. And you never know, these hidden challenges could create possible threat, possible health malfunction, dysfunction, and could destruct a person to various negative ways. So that's one important point that I want to address to women across, so that you all come across more hospitable and look at what are the kinder, lovelier, beautiful ways to make a man express. And I urge all the men to please uh, come up more bold, be absolutely bold in saying that I failed, I fear. It is absolutely human to go through these expressions. Doesn't mean that just you are in a human body of a man makes you like a Spartan or a warrior. We can be a warrior, but we are also people who are at times like a patient going through certain victim situations. And hence both men and women should share their uh, shortcomings, issues, conflicts together, and play their role equally, so that we have lesser conflicts, lesser challenges in life, and more beauty and love to enjoy and celebrate this beautiful celebration called human life. So that's a very important point which I want to address. My last point: please make your communication as simple as possible, and great communications build great celebrations. So keep up your communication as smooth, crisp, and as frequent as possible with the most loved and trustable people that you are around with, so that you only see possibilities and solutions out of your life rather than creating more challenges by not talking. Speak out. This world and this life is for you. So make sure that every single day, every single moment, you are celebrating your life. So it's always good to speak out. On that note, I wish all human beings happy human day. I hope that day is coming very closer rather than men's day or a women's day. So strong human network could be a possibility and initiative to take this forward, this brilliant idea which I want to suggest on this forum. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jitesh sir. It was really a wonderful thoughts which you have shared with us, and one which is like about it should not. You were telling women and men it should not. It should be a complete world human being. That gave me a good vibe. It's really good thought, and thank you so much for sharing your insights. And I overtake. I mean to Sri Lekha, so you can proceed with next panelist.
Hello everyone, this is Srileka. I am also a new member to the family Strong Human Network. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Nancy Kurain ma'am, who is a co-founder of the Heal Box, a dedicated psychologist, having overall 15 years of experience in psychological counseling, and has helped thousands of people from stress, anxiety, and depression. Yeah, over to you, ma'am.
So thank you, Srilekha, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, SHN, for organizing such a wonderful program like this, where we are here to talk about men. And Jitesh, you're very much right that, why there is Women's Day and Men's Day separately, we need to have together. So my small thought here is, at least we must have one particular day.
Not working, please check your connection or use a different.
Is there a problem? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Okay. So my small idea here is we must definitely have a Men's Day separately, because at least on that particular day, we must have a heart-to-heart conversation with men. Generally, we always talk to men professionally, logically, and something seriously. And believe me, in my professional life, in my counseling center, when men come for counseling, they are the one who break down very easily, because maybe that is the one and only platform they get to speak their heart out. They are used to showcase themselves as a very stronger human being, physically, emotionally, and thoughtfully as well. But there are so many roller coaster emotions which is going on in their life in each and everyday activities, and that is reflecting in their physical health, emotional health, mental health, professional life, financial life, and also spiritual life. So we call this as the pillars of wellness. What about our men's pillars of wellness? What is happening to them? They all seem to be so healthy. They are practicing fitness, physical fitness, and they are working very hard for themselves, for their family, for their parents, etc. And yes, of course, they are also investing their money with so much of guidance. But above all, what is their heart? What is all about their mind? What are they going through? That has to be a great matter of discussion. And we women, we are all very much privileged. Whenever there is a problem, we are used to discuss with our family, friends, and counselors. So in many companies where I am working as a company psychologist, the women come so beautifully for EAP sessions whenever there is a problem. For men, it is always a hesitation. It takes at least an year to build a rapport with them. Then they come, "Hi, Nancy, I want to talk to you." But that takes a very, very long time. So much of hesitation because we have never given them a platform. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to cry. It's okay to talk heart to heart, not always logics, figures, and numbers. So, coming to that point, today men's transition is something very, very big. That is what the topic is also. Today's men, when we compare with few generations, like the elderly generations, they had a very different kind of a society setup. Whereas, what about today's young men's scenario? They are really going with a very big roller coaster uh, change in their personal life, in their professional life, and also their societal life, even in the society. We have to, India being a country blessed with young generation, here we have to really think about our younger generation who are in their teens. So, as Jitesh beautifully mentioned, communication has to be definitely encouraged from family. When boys don't talk, we think that they are very strong enough. That is the reason they don't talk. But now I would like to emphasize the parents must tell their young teen children right from adolescence, because always the boys stop talking to their parents or to their well-wishers when they come to adolescent age. They become little quiet. Now, the parents must tell them, you can talk whatever comes to your heart, whatever bothers you. Do you have a problem? Come, let's sit and talk. So that communication must be encouraged right from the adolescent and teenage. And even teenage who go to college or who are new employees, whenever they have many doubts. When they come to counseling, they express their hardships in their personal life, societal life, and in their professional life, and also in their financial life. So, whenever the companies must encourage even the men to talk. So, the companies should have a great induction session where you have to tell the young employees it is okay to cry, it is okay to talk, and we are ready to have a heart to heart conversation, and we are not going to judge when men become emotional. Because some men, they hesitate to come and talk to a psychologist in a company because they are really scared. What if I meet a psychologist? What will my team leader or my manager think? That am I very emotional, or am I very incompetent to work? So better I will not go and talk. So all these kind of mind blocks are there. So we should tell the young generation about men and women, we are all human beings, we have emotions, we cry, and emotional pain is even more greater than physical pain. So whenever you have something bothering you, please go and talk to your dear and near ones. That must be encouraged even in the companies. And when the men, they get into a relationship. Nowadays, many men come to psychologists like us to deal with their relationship issues. So, communication again is a problem. Emotional intelligence is again a problem. And they are very much worried that nobody is there to empathize with us. They always say there are so many people to empathize with women, but why there are no one to ask our side of a story? So here again we have to tell the young men, whenever you have a problem, yes, it is okay to discuss. Just because you are a man, it is not necessary that you have to shoulder all the responsibilities, be it physical, emotional, financial, and suffer alone. That is no more needed. Then comes the family life. Then comes men becoming young parents. So again, we are talking about postpartum depression, prepartum depression, pregnancy blues. Yes, we are all supporting women because there are lots and lots of earlier days, women, most of the women were not working. So they were at home. So they had time to rest. Now, most of the women, we are working, so we have to balance the pregnancy with work-life balance. Yes, definitely there are so many awareness on this, and we are helping women to tackle prenatal, postnatal blues and everything. But what about the young men who are becoming young dads? Even they have sleepless nights and they have more responsibilities, more financial commitments, and yes, they have also lots of emotional insecurity dealing with new family like the newborn baby and wife. So a much needed support is much needed even there. So in corporate, I give a few suggestions that we are conducting so many programs on pregnancy and pregnancy blues, etc. Definitely, you should include men how to handle the new commitments, newborn baby, and the pregnant wife or just delivered wife. Then again, men's responsibility is becoming more and more when they have to handle their children, growing up children, and adolescent. So today, there is a panic situation for few dads who come for counseling. They say that I'm not knowing how to handle my adolescent child. I don't know where to take help. You know why this sentence is coming? Because slowly they stopped communicating with their own parents, their own friends. They are very much workaholic and gadgets. and social media, etc., etc. So again, the communication is becoming a gap, and they are coming to a counselor and saying, "Ma'am, I am unable to handle my adolescent children." Slowly comes the empty nest syndrome. After 45, 50, when children, they grow big and when they go away for their education from home, the women, they talk about it, they talk to their children, they communicate how much they miss the children at home. But what about men? Men, yes, again, it is an emptiness syndrome. No one is there to invite them with warm hugs and open arms, calling daddy, appa, or, dada. And again, that becomes an emptiness there, and they suffer all alone. So they just take up some kind of a physical activity, like 1 hour walking will become 1.5 hours walking. Then again, they just sit and suffer in silence. So in all this process, we are seeing that the men are silent. They are taking more and more responsibilities, emotional responsibilities, and they do not have anybody, like the young generation say, "I have a 3 a.m. friend. I can call my 3 a.m. friend, I can discuss." But when I'm asking the middle-aged people, "Do you have a 3 a.m. friend? Do you have someone to whom you can call and talk?" They are like, "I have, but I don't have." So this is what the answer which they always give. So this is actually each and every stage of life. The men suffer all alone. So now it is our duty to tell men that, okay, please understand that you need to communicate, and it's okay that if you have any limitations, men and women, we are all born with great skills and little limitations. So just because you are going to talk about your limitations, that doesn't mean that you are incompetent or you are not worth surviving as an employee in a company or nothing like that. So whenever we are going to talk about our problem, whenever we speak, we will get a better understanding about ourselves. So with all suffering like this, and one fine day, a retirement and old age comes. So when you just look back at your journey of life, the men, they always, even though when they are in a group in school, group in college, group in their workplace, in their middle age, they were all alone, even though they are in group, because they are unable to communicate. So this is reflecting in their physical health. We always call as psychosomatic disorders. Whenever we are stressed, whenever we are anxious and depressed, slowly these emotions, they are hurting our physical wellness as well. When physical wellness is a question mark, then we know our professional efficiency, our financial commitments, and our social life. Slowly, we isolate ourselves. That is also becoming a problem. So today we have to tell our men, your physical wellness, emotional, financial, social, professional, spiritual wellness is all connected to your mind health. So if your mind health is really good, when you are, and you know what, today we have to definitely teach our people, humor is very, very important in our life. See, are we seeing, I go to schools, I go to colleges, I go to corporates. I'm seeing only the school students are, they are laughing, giggling, making jokes, humor is there. Once if they move to college, especially if they are in a professional college, they are all serious, very serious. They feel that smiling is sin. And when we come to a corporate, no one is smiling. Well, I don't know whether my session is boring or not. I always tell them humor is mandatory. Laughter is mandatory. Happiness is mandatory. Human being are born with all rights to be happy. But that laughter, that humor, enjoying, talking small small things, we have one problem where we think that whenever we open our mouth, we need to talk something great, something big, something fantastic. So that is becoming a problem. Earlier days, where we have seen the family sitting and talking, enjoying, watching TV together, cracking jokes, laughter together. But today that is all missing. Each and everybody at home, they are very much serious about their own projects. So the family time, the laughter time. So right from the childhood, the children are not exposed to it. So this is the pattern which they are forming. So all these pillars of wellness, like, physical to financial to spiritual, that is going to be really 100% healthy only when there is sharing of emotions, sharing of communication, laughter, humor, get together, enjoying being with people with like mindedness, not criticizing others, especially not judging others, understanding all human beings are our own tribe. When we have this basic understanding, automatically I think that our mind pressure will come down. When the mind pressure comes down, our stress, anxiety, depression will come down, and our stress hormone cortisol is no more going to affect our physical wellness. And automatically there will be happiness within us and around us. Thank you, SHN, for this wonderful opportunity where you have given me an opportunity to talk about men. And definitely, this is not a logical conversation. It is 100% heart to heart conversation.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable information. Like you have took us the stages of man, different stages of man, how to be there. They should not be hesitant. From the childhood onwards, they have to inculcate the habit of sharing their feelings with the family members. If the family is support with them, then there won't be a big problem when they grow up. Like sharing and everything, it might help us for their in their future. Yeah, they also will break out easily, but they won't open up easily because they'll be looking like stuff. Okay, the men should be like this, we should not do like this, we should be like this. Some principles have been there following right from stages, but family should give at initial support for the men to open up. Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for the valuable information. Now I'll over to Lata to welcome the other panelist. Hand over.
Thank you, Dr. Nancy, ma'am, for your valuable inputs. You were talking about the company also. The men need to talk. They have to open up. That was like really good. And also empathizing them as equal to women. So it was really a wonderful. And now I'm gonna take upon another amazing person. I would love to introduce Mr. Shyam Prasad Goswami. So he's the ex-CEO of BK Birla Group, and his focus is on driving operational efficiency and is market expansion and also market expansion. So as a leadership coach from Stand Out and Grow Private Limited, he helps entrepreneurs to achieve their development needs and their business growth as well. So he also helps in quick transformation for the company business. He guides to achieve the key results through 4 to 5 to become a pillar, a strong pillar. So, which is of quality and marketing and productivity and leadership. So, sir, you can take over.
Thank you, Lata. Thank you.
So,
Asodoma Sadagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Santi Shanti Shanti. This week, when Sainath contacted me and told, "Sir, we are organizing the talk again," I said, "Wow, you are alive, good." And I asked that, "What is the topic?" He said that the evolving role of men in the current world. I said, "Why? Why this topic?" No, sir, there is a International Men's Day. I had no clue that there is such day, International Men's Day. I said, who is creating these things? International Men's Day, Women's Day, and why only one particular day? If it has to be celebrated, it has to be celebrated 365 days, 24/7. But anyway, the topic is marvelous. The topic is wonderful topic. At the same time, it can be a very much debatable topic. Uh, People might differ. They might go in a different way, because immediate reaction is that International Men's Day, our men are feeling they are getting marginalized. Are they feeling, because there are so much women empowerment in the world today and the gender equality? I just thought it myself. Is it because men are under pressure? And Jitesh, thank you so much. You shared your views. I didn't know, because I was not in India for many years. Almost 26, 27 years I was not in India. So when I came back to India, I started seeing a different India which I left. you know so I will not uh, I will just share from my perspective that what are the few things I went through as a man. Like me, there are so many people in the world, and the audience, whoever is listening to me, the struggle is going to be there, because in the world one thing is constant, and that is the change, and the struggle continues. It's not that I have achieved this much, so my struggle is finished. No, the struggle of different sort of things again appear, and it's the way how we address those struggles, it matters. So I will just share from my life journey, how it went, and as a man, what are the few things which I felt that, yes, which I suffered, and when I made the changes, my life became much better. My work became much better. I rose in my career ranks and all. So it is not a particular solution that what will be the men's role in black and white. I'm just sharing few perspective, okay? And please feel free to stop me and ask any question in between if you want. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the first thing is that, which really hit me, is that stigma. Men don't cry. Men should not cry. When I was growing up in my childhood, we are a very big family. I'm the youngest, and I had siblings. So my elder sisters, they will always say, "Hey, why are you crying? Boys don't cry." And our brain gets so much conditioned by this nurturing. It's not my sister's fault, but the society, the way they look at men, that matters. If you see the primitive era, when men were just creating the society, they were coming from the jungle. You will still notice that the men were the torchbearer. They used to hunt, and they will collect the food, and the women will cook, and etc. So those natural instincts will be there, that men has to bring the food, men has to protect. So this is something, I think, which we need to introspect. Are we really needed to protect others in the family right now? Because everything is there today. We don't need a man for that reason. And so then, bringing the food, is it true that the men only bring the food? So this kind of perspective shift is needed. I will tell you from my story what happened. I was in Kuala Lumpur that time. It was 2009, 2011. I lost my parents consecutively. My dad was my kind of a mentor. So I lost him first on 2009. Then I lost my mom in 2011. I was in a very important mission that time. I was with Reliance Industries with Mr. Mukesh Ambani. I was in a turnaround mission. We did a fabulous job there. But what happened, these two incidents in my life, it created a vacuum within me. I was unable to express. And and the worst part of is that I started punishing myself by engaging myself more into the work. I was putting more extra hours. So I was getting distant from my family. I had no clue that what is going on in my personal life. I didn't take care of my body weight. It was going up. I was gaining weight. So all this type of things started happening that point of time. Then it was 2014, and I'm very lucky. I met one friend of mine who is a good friend of mine right now. He's from Singapore, and he met me and he said that all is good, Goswami. I said, why are you asking? He said, I'm sensing something. Then we went for a coffee and we chit chat for a while. He said that, is it possible that can you visit me? Can you see me on Sunday? I said, sure, I will come. So I went to meet him, and I think I spoke to him for an hour or so, and I can't tell you that how much did I cry. How much did I cry? And I felt lighter. Then I started talking to him that, what do you do exactly? Then he was telling me about the subconscious mind, that what is the role of subconscious mind. People call it a pseudoscience because when there is not enough evidence, people has a tendency to call it a pseudoscience. But it did wonder to me. And then I told him that, can you tell me all the learnings of this neuro-linguistic programming? He said, why not? But you have to spend with me 2 months. I said, I don't have time, so much time. So he says that then I will make it some sandwich program, especially for you. Then in 9 days he completed. But what I'm telling as a bottom line, first time I understood that if you have to lead others, if you have to impact others, you have to lead yourself first well. You have to you have to manage yourself well. That was the first learning. Sorry, I got cough and cold. So that was the learning I had, that if you have to lead others, you must know how to self-manage. You must learn how to do the self-management. I understood about the that how impactful is the subconscious mind in our life, in our work. So that is the one change as a man I did, that as Ma'am Kurian was talking just now, Jithesh was telling, we have to tell ourselves that it is okay to express ourselves. Men should not cry. It means, in other sense, that men should not express their feelings. But it is okay to express ourselves. Because I was afraid that if I tell to my company, maybe they will feel I'm a weak leader. My wife will tell me that is everything okay? If he needs something. I was just afraid. She is very supportive, but it was fear within me that I could not address. I was, I had the guilt feeling. I had the shame that how shall I, what people will think about me. So this is the change of role, in my opinion, in this current world that helped me. And it will help the people, all the men who are listening to me, especially the young generation, because you have a long life to still left. And the world is getting complicated and complicated more and more. So that is the first important aspect. Second thing I would say, that men should go and earn, men should succeed. That is the men's role. This conditioning is dangerous for the people, for the people's mental health. It is no longer needed. When I joined the workforce in 90s, I didn't have a single member in my family who were working outside. Today, in my family, my two daughters, they are working. I have so many other members in the bigger family who are working. At times, their earning much more than the other part of the spouse. So money is not the factor anymore, and we should not feel bad about it. So then, so you are not protector. You are not not supposed to be the only breadwinner of the for the family. Then what is the role you have? The role has to be that men should emerge more as a nurturing men, nurturing father, nurturing brother, nurturing whatever the role they have in the family or in the society. As a leader, I should say that they should come out from that commanding and being very assertive. This type of leaders, they should start, you know, start evolving into a more empathetic leader. They should show more empathy. They should create more understanding about other people. They should be accepting the other person's model of the world. So this is a changing role which I adopted in my life. And I always felt when I started taking a lot of interest in human behavior, apart from engineering and management, human behavior, and I graduated as a coach, I am just enjoying this part. My life and work is work in progress, WIP, I call it. I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning, but I'm just enjoying this part. So these are the few things, in my opinion, that, in my perspective, that which I changed within myself, and that gave a much better result. You know, I how much time I am left with? This is 1852, 6:52. Would you like me to go ahead for another few minutes?
Yes, sir. It's your wish, sir. You can proceed. Not an issue.
Not an issue.
Yeah.
So I think in such manner, because in these discussions we are not here to solve a problem, because it is not a problem at all. We are just discussing what are the ways the world has changed. If I see 1990s when I joined the workforce and now, there has been a huge change. When I joined the workforce the first time, the globalization started. Before that, there was not too much exports from India. The dollar to rupee was 26 or 27 rupees. To travel somewhere, it used to be a nightmare. Means 3 months, 4 months, you run after visa, then for the ticket, then collecting the dollars and all those things. The world has changed today. Today, if I want that I will fly to that country, I can decide and I can go. There have been so many shipped from India to other countries. There's so many immigrants today, if you see. So the world, number one, the globalization, it has changed. Then the internet, the telecommunications. That the telephone was not there. I used to talk to the people with trunk calls. Today, in a split of second, I connect with all the people. Now the communication, this technology and digital technology, that has connected us. But that's not the communication. I think Dr. Kurain and Jithesh, what he was trying to tell is this, that how to communicate, how to connect with another human being. That's the most important part. Are we accepting the other person well? Are we caring enough? Are we nurturing them enough? Are we creating an environment where a good relationship getting fostered? This sort of communication is very much needed, and that's what it has happened in my life also. And I used to be very shy, utterly shy person. I i i didn't like talking to people much, but this sort of learnings, this sort of shifting my roles, it has truly helped me. So any in my audience, and any of you, if you have any kind of question, I will be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Shyama sir, for sharing your opinion. So you showed that emotion, like when you lost your parents, and about leading yourself. It was a beautiful statement, and again about emotion, and men should also be nurtured in all the ways. So that was really beautiful statement. So thank you so much. And next, I would like to call upon Rajini, Rajini ma'am. So yeah. Yeah. So Rajini Gurucharan, who is the success manager of SHL, and she has 20 years plus experience in the industry. And she started with recruitment and HR as too. So, and then moved towards the education, like life skills, counseling and all. And currently she's a consultant in couple of NGOs in Bangalore and handling various roles. So thank you, Rajini ma'am, to join with us. Please, you can start now.
Thank you, and thanks, Lata. And again, a warm welcome to all of you to SHN. Yesterday, I was, reading an article in the paper, which was quite alarming, which stated that 70% of suicides in India were committed by men. And this actually, a couple of days back, I was also talking to Dr. Nancy, who mentioned something similar to me, that majority of the suicides in India are committed by men. And more alarming is the fact that the age group is between 15 to 39 years of age. So what is happening? I mean, why is this? This is not. I'm sure a lot of us would be thinking, really, men, can they feel emotional? Can they actually lose their cool in such a way that they can actually take such a drastic step? Is it possible? A lot of times we fail to see that person, or as Jithesh said, the soul behind the strong look of a man. A lot of times men are portrayed as strong or muscular, tough family providers, as a lot of speakers just now mentioned. They are supposed to be financial providers for the family, or they are supposed to be the stronger of the genders to take care of the remaining family when a catastrophe strikes, when there's a tragedy in the family. But a lot of times we fail to see that, as Jithesh used the right word, soul behind that strong persona. And many times, again, this may be a repeat to what a couple of speakers have already spoken about, but men do not express themselves as much as women do. And especially emotions, especially what is going on in their minds, especially what is probably challenging or troubling them. Roles of men have also changed. If you look at the traditional role or the face of men, they would look, men would be portrayed as somebody who's actually a family provider and a tough and muscular person, as someone said, carry food and logs of wood to home, etc. But the current role of men has totally evolved from that to a person who's very emotional, who has to be emotionally open. Shared responsibility is currently what a lot of people are talking about. The role of women has also changed, and this could be probably the reason why the role of man has also evolved. A lot of times women expect men to also share hands in cooking or taking care of household chores. So sometimes it becomes very difficult for a man to find out, where do I fit in? Am I supposed to be that tough person who's taking care of the family? Or am I supposed to be a person who's emotionally vulnerable, taking care of, who can sometimes cry, who can sometimes feel upset, who's sometimes confused what to do? So the role of men also keep changing. And this probably leads to a lot of, drastic steps which they can take at certain points in their lives. And I feel that there are, as a society, there are basically 3 areas where men can be given support. One is in their educational institutions or in schools, where teachers, and this can start right from the time they are kids, teachers can provide them the support and be open and let the message out that it is open for boys or young kids also to cry out sometimes, to feel that pain when you fall down. Sometimes we ourselves as mothers, sometimes we tell, it's okay, boys, don't cry. I know it's a repeat to what a lot of you have said, but it can happen. Maybe the child actually feels like crying, and it's perfectly fine. So, and the other, so as I mentioned, educational institutions, it is one such area where we need to have a little more sensitivity towards boys. Consider them as a child rather than a boy or a girl. Workplace is another where probably there can be a psychologist to talk to people. I was also telling Dr. Nancy a couple of days back when I spoke to her that in one of the corporates that I am associated with, they have a wing of people whom nobody, no one knows their names, nor do the psychologist team know the names of the people or the corporate people, the team members who are going to be calling them. It's just a number which is given to the employees of the company. They can dial that number, talk to anybody at any point in time. And the psychologist does not even ask the name of this person or even the team to which this person belongs. So this kind of creates a safe space where men are able to speak out sometimes. And this makes them quite open at certain times. So this, as I told you, the second space is a workspace where men can feel more heard and they are made to feel that they are not judged. And the third one is definitely the family, where roles can change according to the situation. There need not be a case where you have to be a service provider or you have to be the person who's providing the bread for the family, or you are only supposed to be cooking, or there can be a fluidity in relationships. There can be a fluidity in roles. So this is my take on this subject, on this topic. And yeah, let's all evolve, like all of you said. Let's all work for better humanity rather than maybe men or women. Probably it's important that humanity rises above genders in some case. And yeah, that's it. It's just a small share from my end. Thanks a lot. And I think we can listen to Krishna ji now. Thanks, Lata.
Thank you so much, Rajni ma'am. It was really a good thought which you have shared. So you have said that they have to be open up. So whatever they're feeling. So maybe in all the aspects, when they're an employee in the company, so they don't want to hesitate that we should not share because I'm men. So that was really an amazing input. So next, Sri Lekha, you can take it.
Yeah, thank you, Rashmi ma'am and Lata. Yeah, now I would like to introduce one of our panelists to speak on topic today. He is Mr. Krishna Prakash, who is a founder of Srimat Yoga and himself a Yogacharya and a Yoga Nidra specialist uh, and a life coach too. He is an advocate in Indic wisdom, which represents 3 non-negotiable components like agreement, awareness, and anxiety through Icha, Jnana, and Kriya. Yeah. Sir, please, can you speak a few words on this event?
Actually, it is action, not anxiety.
Sorry, sir.
I think that's fine. Everything is okay. Would any of us be comfortable working with only one ear say right ear is functioning well, left nostril is functioning well, no human being will be happy with that. So there is a reason why nature has given to each. Even to clap, we need two hands. So traditionally speaking, in India, the day we lost the meaning and some disconnect happened when internalizing what is dharma, equilibration started, and world is like a cycle. What goes down will come up one day, and what is up comes down another day. Like there was a time we had 25% of the GDP of the world. So why I'm reminding this is like how we have right eye and left eye, men and women are there. To function, to have a proper vision, both have to optimally function. At the same time, the left side of the body has certain organs, the right side has certain organs. Technically, we don't need to fight for equality. There is only equity. There are certain things only, why otherwise there will be two genders, right? So we have to respect that diversity is there. At the same time, we have to function as a team. Even if you have a bullock cart, the two bulls have to go together, right? The railway track, two. So in the plane of duality, first thing we learn from yoga is withdraw from the notion that I am man or a woman. Just be present there as a human being to see things as it is. Maybe due to my good karma, I was fortunate to be brought up in a joint family. So there were, instead of one mother, I had five mothers. All my aunts were there. So if any problem, we can run and cry. And we were treated like children, like beautifully, I think Rajini mentioned. We have to treat children. No, boy, girl doesn't matter. And it starts there. This thought process has crept in maybe after this industrial revolution, the military invasions which happened in the last 800,000 years. That was the reason. Before that and after that, if I ask you, other than Joan of Arc, you will not be able to tell any female queen or somebody who fought wars, right? In India, every state, every district has, right from Rani Abbaka, who Dutch were not able to defeat, to Jhansi Rani, to Chittur. Everybody was there in India. And who was the major influencing factor in bringing up Shivaji is his mother. So in India, always human beings were given, and it's a role-based approach. The problems, what we are discussing today, have crept in because the concept of family is vanishing, where husband and wife are meeting during the weekends. So that is the key thing. You have a day and night. That forms 24 hours. So I personally feel women and men are like that. They will have to meet. There is a meeting point for day and night, correct? So both bring together the family. And the day you think I am this and you are not, we have lost the plot. However great your right hand strong it may be, if your left arm is injured, you can't clap. So we have to first understand that this is the reality which we have to accept. Any issue coming up, we need to withdraw, which we call in yoga as pratyahara. So we see the objectivity. We also have glands which can secrete water, right? So who said men should not cry? Everything is the same, right? If somebody gets a cut, the blood is red color only. So these are all notions which have come into that. And I think like how we have the license to jump around in joy, we should have license to cry on someone's shoulders. What is wrong in it? The reason if we don't do it, there is a psychological issue inside and it could lead even to perversion. That is what we are seeing in the society today is when an emotion comes, the emotion doesn't seem gender because we deal emotion in the pranamaya kosha. The body which we are seeing is annamaya because it is sustained by food. And we are all talking about emotion and everything, it's prana, which is up and down. For that, we need to work with that with the mind, which is a manomaya kosha. So what tradition did was, mantra sadhana was given, pranayama was given, asana was given. There are processes which you do every day to first understand you are a human being based on your age, your gender, your need, everything. So that the emotion which is stuck between the body and the mind was balanced well. So when people jump and dance in a kirtan, everybody cries, everybody jumps around. Today, what has happened is we have made only work and life vacation. Today, vacation is what? Running away from things. Vacate. You have to vacate that place. But if we develop a balanced mindset, can have vacation every day. Like beautifully Shyama Prasad ji said, why one day to 365 days we can have. But that one day is because though 365 days are there, we have one birthday, right? So something which are plus and minus, that day, for example, we tell at home, today is my birthday, don't scold me. Right? Even after growing up, I tell my wife that at least please spare me this one day. Okay, so I feel I'm living with the school principal sometimes. But when I understand everything she says is for the betterment of me and things around, things change. So similarly, the transaction is two ways. And in India, we are open to express all this. This is a problem in the West, wherein if there is a heated argument, then you move away. Here, the heated argument brings you together. We should not lose that culture. The moment you feel you have an option, you will lose culture. That is the key here. So whether you are crying, whether you are laughing, you are there with someone, and each has equal right to jump in joy and cry. This is the basic stuff we need to do. And second, when we bring up children, the work is there for everyone. So when someone used to ask me, why? Then I said, in ancient India, the cookery was segregated as Nalapaga and Bhimapaga. Correct? So there is no way there is gender which has come into a scene there. Whenever there is a reason, and we have in our system Swayam Park also, and we are supposed to treat women like queens for at least 3 to 7 days in a month when they are going through certain emotions due to their monthly cycles. And at the time of menopause also there is a hormonal change. Unless a man understands, because he cannot empathize, because he cannot experience it. That is why I want to suggest that there is nothing called equality. There is only understanding and empathy. Nobody needs sympathy. No gender needs sympathy. We need to listen out and say that these are certain things which are unique to this gender. These are certain things which are unique to the gender. And again, Rajini beautifully said 70% of suicide are men because they were not trained to express themselves. And same thing Jithesh mentioned and Shyama Prasad ji mentioned, right? We felt if we express something, even our spouse will feel bad. Who will feel bad? Nobody. If they feel bad, let them feel bad. Take a bold step. Feeling bad is happening in their mind. If somebody is feeling bad, why are you sacrificing your mental health? You are not going against dharma. And this emotion nowhere in dictionary or cut in stone that men cannot cry or women cannot laugh. These are all conditions. So at the end, what we do is, even when you do the pranayama technique, at any time, if you check your nostrils, only one nostril will flow. Only during the meditation and the sandhya time, both the nostrils flow. What this shows is, we as sensible human beings should know when to lead and when to be led. If you are in a home, you should know which activities your spouse can lead you and in which activities you can lead your spouse. Nature is showing us. And in many events, we are together. Like you run a relay race, correct? One baton is handed over, then you run together so the baton doesn't fall down. These times, both nostrils are flowing. Otherwise, any time, 1.5 hours, the nostril shift changes. So what is nature trying to tell us? We should not have the stress of always trying to lead. What is there to lead? In fact, I'm happy to be led. What is there in it? Whoever is best in that task, let them lead. Why should gender come in there? So this is a unlearning which men should do, that they don't need to do everything. And nobody asks them to do everything. And I have practically seen, if you ask you get help exponentially from women. So there is always this dialogue should happen, and Jithesh beautifully explained about this communication, right? That is the crux of everything. Unless we communicate with ourselves, how are we going to communicate with others? So, to conclude this short time, I will invite each of you to absorb the concept of pratyahara, which is called withdrawal as per Patanjali Yoga Sutra, before we take any decision. So what we need to do, sit quiet, take a deep breath, and withdraw that I am an Indian, I am a woman, I am a man, I am age, I am this, nothing doing. You are a human being. This situation has come to you. How would you deal with it? Would you be able to deal with it if you can't ask for help? If you want to deal with it, you deal with it yourself. Remove all these biases so that work can be balanced. Remember, if you keep everything inside, there is somebody who needs your help. The entire family thinks everything is fine. So communicate, express, and learn to express, because what you communicate doesn't matter. How we communicate matters a lot. So these are some of the points I thought I'll just share with these eminent panelists and the host team here. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable information on the, like, there should be no gender difference. Everyone should be treated as one. Like, one should know about himself briefly first, then only he will be able to, like, both, by the difference won't come there. Right. And also, like, everyone should function as a team member, like both. If two hands get together only, it will become a clap. Thanks for beautiful explaining about this. Now I'll hand over to Lata to ask the panel the questionnaires.
Thank you, Krishna sir. It was really an amazing thoughts what you have shared. And you shared about two genders, they have equal issues. Like if women has a premenopause and menopause, even men has a different aspects they lead a life, even about the diversity and about an issue what they face. So thank you so much, sir. And next, I would like to go according to the questions for each panelist. Just a moment.
I think we can, by 7:30, we can wind up. We can ask one question to each of them.
Sure. So I would like to ask question for Jithesh sir, Mr. Jithesh Mogli sir. Sir, how fitness and wellness is changing in priority for men across generation? The like maybe boomers, millennials, gens like that.
Sure, it's a very good question. Because over a period of time, what I've been observing, because I've been into fitness and wellness for the last 12 years, and prior to that, only in fitness for almost, say 37 years. So I'm 47 now. Thanks to for my fitness for keeping me agile and young. But the point is that since the time I was 10 years, I was running, being an athlete, playing different forms of physical games, and then got into mental, emotional games too. But what I really have observed over a long period of time, almost 3 to 4 generations, is that men in that era or boys in those days were much more agile, manual, because your distractions, digital gadgets were not disturbing them or absorbing them. So there was more interest towards connecting their body with sport, physical activity, even for the matter. I'm sure Shyam and Krishna Garu will connect, because I'm assuming we are on the same similar age pattern. Uh, Climbing walls, stealing mangoes, to going to farms and picking up whatever that we can. We were playing so much within the parks, gardens, on the roads. The body was very agile. Unfortunately, if I do a fast forward to the current age of millennial, the so-called Gen Z children, they are not doing all of this. The play is not there. Okay, the beautiful time of playing cricket or all forms of ground, wall, ceiling activities is not there. All the boys and girls are hooked onto their gadgets, and this is exactly what they're doing. this is what the neck goes down and the screen is in front of them, and only the thumbs or the fingers which are in play. This is the only fitness happening now. Even when I walk into the gyms, unfortunately, the younger generation are so much aligned to the phone that they are not even using the equipment in the gym or any kind of an activity. They're so hooked onto the phone. So my message, larger message to all the Gen Z is that please get out of the screen. Get out. Get out of the house. Get out of the office. Play the game outside. Play on the ground, figure out what kind of beautiful games can be played. Today's children have resources. Offices are providing amazing level of equipment, opportunities, and including coaches and trainers for them to come up with wonderful ideas. Parents are able to afford better facilities for them, but you kids or youth are not using that because you're so much into screen. If you are into screen, one day you will have to scream. So scream for your health. That is what I would suggest. And this has been my bigger observation across. Unfortunately, today's kids are not using their limbs and hands properly, their legs properly. You have forgotten to climb stairs. You're using elevators, automation, cars, gadgets, all forms of electrical, mechanical goods. And your body has forgotten to move now because you have never moved. You're just sitting for longer times, whether it is in office or at home. Hence, please realize that your body is born to move, whether you are a man or a woman, whether you are a child or a granny. Please move. The more moving you do, you will be able to explore a better life out of you. And as a yoga practitioner, Krishna Garu has mentioned about the spiritual practice of yoga, usage of your respiratory system. There's so much of a respiratory system that we have inside. Please learn to breathe. People have forgotten to breathe now. The involuntary breathing, which happens because you're living, that happens. But the ability to suck the air for a longer time and then hold it and exhale, ability to be able to use your lungs while running, while climbing stairs, or performing any form of high interval training will help your lungs to grow. And when you have a stronger respiratory system, your body will be very robust and you will have an amazing level of immunity. And COVID has become a great example for people to know that there is a respiratory system and hence I need to work on it. So I urge the youth, all kinds of genders, to please move, get out of this of the indoors and work your body in the best way, eat good nutritious food, and please sleep in the nights. I see most of the folks are hooked onto their phones and screens, Netflix, Amazon Primes, watching long standing movies and serials for a long time, and you are not sleeping. Sleep is the time which will help you to repair your body. That's a beautiful time which has been given to you. Please do it. Animals do it with responsibility. Plants do it because they don't have distractions. Human beings, you have far more distractions. Unfortunately, the current generation is being dosed into so many distractions. It's far more important that the current generation understands and realizes that I need to pull out of these distractions. Use them only sensibly when I need it for a right reason and get on to your manual form of physical movement. We are all born to move. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really an importance which you shared about physical fitness, like about their physical movements instead of using this generation using this technology. So how important our health should be. So thank you so much for sharing this insightful. And I wanted to ask Mr. Krishna Prakash, sir. So the question what I'd like to ask is how spiritually can help men negative the current society and what are the hurdles in this process?
The misconception is The moment you tell the word spiritual, people feel you have to go to temple, mosque, or church. I keep telling them that if going to a garage can make you a mechanic, then going to a temple can make you spiritual. These are two different things. Okay. It starts with us, and it is very important to get in touch with the spirit inside, because that alone gives the clarity of why are we doing what we are doing and why I am unique from my own brother or my friend. We can live together, but our goals, the vision could be different. So it is very important to get on with this idea that by doing an activity or going to a place, one cannot become spiritual. That is the first block people have to remove. There is work to be done. And Hitesh beautifully explained, using pranayama, many people avoided the ill effects of corona because the lung capacity improved. When the lung capacity improves, your immunity improves. And for that, we need to move. Correct? If you sit in the same place, only anthills will grow on you. So we need to move and then think of spirituality as an everyday activity of meeting with yourself, not necessarily going to an external place. That is a luxury which you can have. But be happy with meeting yourself. If you want to meet yourselves, be comfortable with your emotions. Sitting wherever you can cry your heart out to the divine. Divine is omnipresent like your mobile signal. Divine can hear. So don't limit spirituality to anything else. Be available to yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your valuable input. Sir, next question would be Mr. Shyama Prasad Goswami, sir. So I wanted to ask you, what are the challenges highly aspirational men face in current times?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful question. You see, if this talk was 10 to 12 years before, I could not have spoken this much what I shared with you. We know all of you very little, right? And I know that it will go to the audience. But I have mastered the courage to express myself. That is the one thing I should say that the aspirational people, they should embrace. In my work, I get to meet with the people of various cultures from different countries, from different age groups. And I'm sensing that there is an apparent smile in their face. But when I talk to them a little bit in depth, I sense that there is a loneliness. There is a lot of anxiety. There is a lot of fear. Holistic wellness is very much needed for this aspirational youth of India, especially India, because no country has so many young people like India has. Other countries, you go to Europe, you go to Japan, you go to Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, you get to meet all the old people, literally. And when you come to India, you see only the young people. The I didn't have the urge to do the job what I am doing right now. I'm an interim CEO in Madhusudan Group. They're manufacturing textiles. But when they approached me, I met four generations of leaders in that group. And that really appealed me, especially the aspirational young generation of people, the leaders. They all have studied outside India, and then they have come back and they have joined the family business. So I like that part. I connected very well with that aspirational group because those are the fundamental chunk which will take India and also any individual company, or it will ahead. That is the hope India has today. So as the many speakers like Mr. Jithesh told, Dr. Kurian told, uh, Krishna Gadu, you say? I, right. Krishna ji told about, and then Rajini also mentioned. Be courageous. Be courageous that whatever the state you are going through, don't be shy to seek help. This is a big problem I had being a man. That what if people perceive me as a weak person? Because I have been told that you are self independent and you are a strong fellow all the time. You are a protector. You provide food, shelter, all this stuff. So, men has the tendency to hide because of three emotions. One is shame or guilt, whatever you say. Second is fear. And third is, I call it ahankar. Because we grew up in a time when the Diwar was being, Amitabh Bachchan was the angry young man, and this and that. Jackie Sharaf with the Charminar cigarette and all. Those were the thing of manliness. World has evolved. World has evolved today. Today, the young generation, I find they're very much illuminated. They talk about life fulfillment at the age of 26, 27, 30. They say, why shall I go to the office? My younger daughter, she says, why I have to go to the office every day? They are challenging the status quo. We heard about mass resignation. We heard about moonlighting. We heard about quiet quitting. All these new phrases we are hearing. So, in my perspective, the aspirational Indian youth is a big hope, and they have to be nurtured by the slightly elder people. That is the responsibility we hold, as much as we can share. Giving advice or giving gyan doesn't work with them. There is a terminology called, do you believe in God? And they will make up with a very much flowery languages, and finally they will say no, no, no. So I said that who you are actually when it comes to God, what is your relations? They say that I am non-religious but spiritual. There is a lot of confusion. Religion and spirituality doesn't have any conflict at all. Never. Swami Vivekananda says that the greatest men are calm, silent, unknown. It's not necessary that you have to prove all the time. You have to, you have to succeed. Yes, you have to do everything you have to do, but you are doing in a sense that where your holistic wellness is not compromised. If this is not addressed, I am really afraid with the current scenario in the world today, because with the complexity has increased manyfold. Like someone mentioned that the husband is working in one city, wife is working in another city, they don't meet. How there will be balance? Even their work is consuming so much of their energy that when they are coming back home, there is not enough left. But how to create a scenario where they can empathize other partner, how they can connect with the bigger family, how they will go about moving together. When we are recruiting people these days, I look for three qualities in that human being. I don't mind what sort of university he has graduated or what. Those are important. Those are important, but not very important to me. What I'm truly looking for in people, are they humble enough? Humility, we should not misunderstand here. Humility doesn't mean the lack of confidence. If there is a lack of confidence, please do not call it an humility. You have to build that confidence first. Humility means who are respectful, who are open to learn new things, who can work in a team, who are team player. So this is the, how they should be. They should be humble. Second is that they should be hungry. There should be enough passion that whatever they are doing, they would like to achieve that. And third is that they should be smart. Here, the smartness doesn't mean that physically they are very good looking, wearing a big mustache. Excuse me. I have to do a lot of breathing exercise after this. Yeah. So they should not be macho man or something like that. Yeah, if they are that, it's fine. But the smartness is in a sense that they are they know how to self manage themselves. Their emotional intelligence. Because whatever as I was mentioning, the subconscious mind, most of our actions come from subconscious mind. We feel that we are talking here, Lata is listening to me, Rajini is listening to me, Jithesh is listening. Now, each of us are thinking something. We are processing these informations. And this process of informations is being influenced by our subconscious mind, subconscious conditioning. So being able to manage yourself is the great strength, and that comes from emotional intelligence. I'm angry. First of all, suppose I'm angry right now. I must know that yes, I am angry. I must admit to myself. In psychology, the first thing is that there has to be a gap. There is a stimuli and then there is a response. In between, Dr. Kurain will understand what I'm trying to say. In between, there is a gap. What do I do with that gap? I'm angry. Now, do I act immediately or do I process it? I do it later. That brings a control mechanism within us. I'm feeling lonely. Okay. If you are feeling lonely, don't get immersed into the digital this thing, as Jesus was telling that they're trying to get all the time, because brain is always tricking you that you have to win. You need pleasure all the time. That's the trick of the brain. It's not reality. It's not true. But brain makes us believe that that is the reality. So understanding this part is very important. We are not teaching our children in school, colleges, even it is a premier institute. Nowhere this is being taught today. So it says that when a commander or a general, army general sends a person into the battlefield, they need to make sure that their army, the Jawan, is holding a gun or any kind of weapon. If it is not there, there will be a court martial for a general. Similarly, the people who are going to the workforce, who are joining the workforce, these type of things are the weapon. And they should go to the workplace with that weapon, that how to self-manage themselves, how to become a smarter human being, smarter men. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Shyama, sir. It was really an elaborated one about the question, and it was really amazing what you have shared to us. And next, I would wanted to ask Dr. Nancy, ma'am, the question. Ma'am, as per your experience, what is the most common problems you have seen in men and how to tackle with them?
Anxiety.
Okay.
Anxiety is the most common factor, but men, they don't want to express it. That is a problem. Okay. So they say that I am stressed, I'm feeling low, I am not that motivated to work. Somehow I'm just managing. I'm trying to be in the company, working, and I'm trying to be a good father, good husband, good son. But I'm feeling very depressed. I'm feeling stressed. But when we are seeing the underlying cause, anxiety, today's men, they are so anxious about too many things. And one main factor is overthinking. So I would like to emphasize overthinking is good, provided if it is for short while. So if you are thinking about something, for a short while, you are introspecting about yourself or whatever you're thinking about. But if that overthinking is for a longer time, then it stress you a lot, and that overthinking is becoming an anxiety in you. So this is the major problem, one of the most important underlying cause for many of the men today suffering in silence.
Thank you, Nancy ma'am. Thank you so much. And next question I would want to ask very fast, Rajni ma'am. How can SHN help the current generation men in handling in intricate, complex situation?
Now, we heard about a lot of problems that a lot of our generations are going through. An organization like SHN is, a very non-judgmental space where we help people or empower people to become better versions of themselves. And we focus on three areas. One is career, one is relationships, and one is health, mental and physical. We have a team of people. You have met a few of them today. If there is any fitness or a mental or physical challenge that a person is going through, we have distinguished people like Nancy, Dr. Nancy, or we have Jithesh, who is a 360-degree wellness coach, who's willing to speak to anybody at any point in time. If we are trying to look at a spiritual angle, Indic wisdom, we have Krishna ji, I think Krishna ji just left the meeting. Mr. Krishna is always there. We have a very experienced coach, Mr. Prasad, who's willing to talk to them at any point in time. So a platform like SHN will bring a lot of people together where people can communicate openly, and you can also be heard. There's someone to listen to you. There's someone to listen to you without judging you. And they are willing to hold your hand and support you wherein it is actually needed. Feel free to speak to anybody. I would recommend people to take the help of people when it is needed. Don't wait for a tragedy to happen or a catastrophe to strike before you take the first step. Be open, be a little expressive, and try and seek support. Talk to people when it is needed. And it is definitely going to change your life for the better. So a non-judgmental space like Strong Human Network is there to support you. Feel free to connect with us at any point in time. And from my side, I would like to thank all the panelists who've joined today. Jithesh, Dr. Nancy, Mr. Shyam Prasad, Mr. Krishna Prakash ji, and we also have a couple of audiences who have joined in. One is my uncle who's here, Mr. Venkat Prabhu, and a couple of others who've joined in. So any of you, please feel free to connect with us at any point in time. And I hand over to Lata for the final closing.
So it was, yeah. Yes.
Before the closure, I want to add one point to all of the people watching this who would watch this recording across the globe. Through this session, I would like to tell you people across that there's one big disease people go through, now you call it men or women, which is not told to the world, and that is called I know all attitude. I know everything, and hence I don't want to ask anything. Hence, I don't want to reach out to people to ask help because I know all. So that egoistic, careless, irresponsible feeling which runs in certain people, uh, would trigger many aspects inside that person because they don't want to reach out for help. But I know that I need help. But because of that mask I wear, that I know all, and the moment I want to ask makes that person feel inferior or weaker, is what will create many more distractions, destruction within, and can be possible a potential case for a damage in a big way. And not only them, they will spoil the ecosystem around them, people around them, and they all would suffer and struggle. So kindly, I urge across people, humanity, that please don't get into this diseased statement called I know all. We all are only equipped for certain aspects, and hence it's good for us to reach out for help, especially with specialist experts or people whom we care or trust. Ask for help. I'm sure you will get certain ideas, certain ways of suggestions to give you the best possible solutions. So kindly get out of this thought process, including the Gen Z. I know all is not a good thing to do. I want to know more. I want to seek help is a way to think through. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jithesh sir. Thank you so much. It was a very good opinion which you have shared. And finally, I'm closing the discussion. So it was really a great opportunity meeting everyone. This is something new for me, but I met almost from different categories. I met all the legends here, and I'm thankful for giving this opportunity from Sainath sir and Rajini ma'am. And thank you so much. And I'm signing out today, and all of you. Once again, let us meet. And so I'll leave you a positive note, signing out, and be a better version yourself, and be a strong human. Thank you so much. Good
Thanks,
evening.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye, Dr. Nancy Ma, Srilekha, Jithesh Mogli sir, and Rajini ma.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Wonderful
Thank
connect.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Let's
Yeah,
look
thank
forward to meet up again on a different occasion.
Sure, sure.
Definitely. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care.